What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your man, so I'm over with back at it with another review. And yesterday I was able to check out Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes 2 days early, and I will be giving you guys a review today. But before we get to actual getting the review itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, just 300 away now. Really help out your boys to get subscribed, and also maybe help with the YouTube algorithm, recommend it to more people. Maybe they could join. That's toxic, fam. And also do feel free to comment your thoughts on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes down below. But with that being said, before we get to actual review itself, let's give a quick plot synopsis, shall we? So transition and shoes.
Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define a future for apes and humans alike.
Alright, so my history with the Planet of the Apes franchise, when I was younger, this was before the Matt Reeves movies came out, I actually grew up with the Tim Burton version, which is not great, but I think it's decent for what it is. And then I finally came around to watching the old movies after I watched the new Matt Reeves movies, and I think I like the first one, and I like Beneath the Planet of the Apes. All the other ones I can really take or leave. But then when I eventually watched the Matt Reeves movies, which this continues off of, I became a Planet of the Apes fan. I love all three of those movies. Rise, I think, is really good. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is in my top 30 favorite movies of all time. I love that movie to death. And War for the Planet of the Apes is also awesome, too, and a great movie, but I don't think it has much watch value over Dawn and Rise. Probably over Rise, but just because it has a lot of dark subject material, and it's very sad with War, but Dawn of the Planet of the Apes I love. And I think I do like War more than Rise. I'm spoiling the ranking coming up on, I'll probably do the ranking on Saturday. So, I'm doing a ranking on Saturday of all the Matt Reeves movies, not all of the, old movies too. I'll probably do a tier list ranking of all of those. Anyways, going into this one, was really excited. When I heard the early buzz from early reactions, I was going like, thank goodness the streak keeps on going with May 2024 movies. I haven't seen Tarot yet, by the way, so I can't. Yeah. But anyways, the early buzz got me excited. This was my most anticipated movie, one of my most anticipated movies of this year, before even going into it. And coming out of it, let's just get into the actual review itself. So let's go into the best of the best for the movie, the good. And Noah as the new protagonist. Now, don't get me wrong.
Is Noah Caesar? No, he's not. But I still think he's a really good replacement for Caesar.
Also, something they did with his character, which I'm glad they did, is they made Noah have not that too many similarities to Caesar. Him and Caesar are completely different characters. And Caesar is among my top favorite movie characters of all time. He's third, right behind Indiana Jones and Chucky. I love his character. And this was a good character to kind of replace Caesar without replacing him, you know? Because that brings it into the next positive. Caesar's presence, even though, you know, even though I don't know how to explain. So, Caesar's presence is definitely felt throughout this movie because, well, to be honest, if you're watching this review, why haven't you watched the original movie, the three movies before it? But basically, Caesar's presence is still felt throughout the movie because they bring in, I'll just get this positive out of the way, they bring in this lore with Caesar, which I found pretty, they did a pretty good job of it without over-bloating the movie with the lore and actually having flashbacks and stuff, and they just briefly explain it. And for, like, people that haven't seen the previous three movies and are going into this one just watching this one, they do a good job of basically planning the lore that what happens with Caesar and such. So they do a good job with that. Another positive, the CGI is great. I mean, come on. All four of the Planet of the Apes movies have fantastic CGI, especially War and Dawn, but this one has a great CGI too. I mean, all of them have amazing CGI. Like, Hollywood, take notes, copy off of Godzilla -1 and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because their CGI is amazing. And, continues here. Another positive, Proximus Caesar as the villain. We all saw clips of him in the trailers saying, "Oh, what a wonderful day." And I think that he is probably
My second favorite villain in the Planet of the Apes movies, right behind Koba. And he's voiced greatly by Kevin Durant.
I also liked how they definitely gave a distinct characteristic about him where he's a king and people treat him like a king, and he has this very interesting presence about him that they did a great job on. Is he as amazing as Koba was? No, but he is still a great villain, and he's, as I said before, the second best Planet of the Apes villain for me personally. Another positive. Oh wait, I already said that one. The cinematography. The cinematography in all these movies, of course, are awesome as well. This was another proof of that. And this had a bunch of great shots throughout. And the action scenes, well, we'll get that out of the way. The action sequences are very well shot as well. We all saw the clip in the trailer with the girl and the May and Noah, where May is in between a rock and a hard place, where Noah's right in front of her, and then they have the big ape chasing her down, and she's running and then trying to get on Noah's horse. That was a great greatly shot action sequence. And also a little bit later on in the final act was the action sequences were great as well. Another positive, all the side characters. I really liked all the side characters, which I was, well, except for one. I'll get to that a little bit later. But all the side characters I really liked. Noah has two friends with him that you care about, and also his mother and father too. And then you also have you saw him in the trailers. I believe his name is Rafa. He is like the orangutan-esque looking dude that says ha ha ha, you haven't seen everything. You like that guy? He was a fun side character as well. Is that all the positives? And also, final positive, the stories it leaves open for this new trilogy, because I do believe this is going to be a new trilogy. And it does a great job at leaving off with enough for it being like a closing off the movie, but also leaving some possibilities in future movies as well. So that's the best. Now, we move on to the mixed, which I have the May character, which I think overall I do think she's a good character, but how you like her, I don't know how I feel, because I think most of the time I do like her. It's just sometimes you don't. That's all I'll say. And then the final mixed aspect is how it's a reboot of the original Planet of the Apes. It's basically a reboot of the original one with Charlton Heston, and it's also technically kind of like a reboot of the 2000, I don't know what year that came out, but the Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes. So that's pretty much that, but in 2024, which I don't know if that'll turn people off or won't turn people off. But with that being said, no bad. And this movie, I will say right now, is my favorite movie of the year so far. Sorry, Dune Part 2, but this is my favorite movie of the year so far. And this continues to be a very consistent franchise. Can't wait to see what's next. Let's bring out the toxic meat. And I will give this a not toxic, and I will give it an A+. I really like this movie, and definitely recommend seeing it in theaters. And minor spoiler for my ranking of all the Planet of the Apes movies coming out on Saturday. This is probably my second favorite, out right behind Dawn. And Dawn, of course, is among my 30 favorite movies of all time, as I said before. And I thought this was a great movie, and I'm super happy that it wasn't disappointing for me. But with that being said, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this toxic movie review of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Be sure to leave your thoughts on the movie down below. And with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace.